guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I'm here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And she is here.
I am here.
She is here.
I'm real.
She
I'm a
didn't
real
quit.
girl.
She didn't quit on me.
I didn't quit. Yeah, that would, if I quit, there's a lawyer involved.
She rage quit. She rage quit Clownfish TV. No, we're going to talk about Mulan coming to video on demand / digital
maybe theaters.
Sales / maybe theaters. Disney's really weird, I guess, plan for Mulan, or non-plan. I think it's more of a non-plan.
I don't know. And speaking of rage, we're going to watch someone rage about Mulan here shortly. But yeah, so during their investor call on Tuesday, it was interesting because they mentioned that they were going to bring Mulan to Disney Plus as a video on demand, a pay thing, on September 4th for $29.99. What they didn't mention was that by doing that, you were going to be buying the film. So it wasn't just like you get to watch it for 24 hours or whatever, like other places, which was a bit of information that I think they should have mentioned, or that it was interesting they didn't mention, but the next day they hurried up and mentioned. I think it's called, they were going to do it that way, but then people got PO'd, so they hurry up and had to backpedal it and like, oh no, you get to buy that on Disney Plus. Yeah,
people were not real happy with the price. Now, this isn't completely unprecedented because, you know, Trolls World Tour came out, Universal brought that out. It was $19.99 to rent it.
And you can only watch it for like a day or so.
Yeah,
so this you
like
get to keep, apparently.
Now you do.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I think this was something they decided the next day after the backlash, because something like that should have been mentioned. Like, we're charging you $30 to rent it, or for video on demand, but never mentioned anything about getting to keep it, until a lot of people were like, wait, I can pay $7 to go to the theater, I can pay 30. What the heck? And then they're like, oh no, you get to keep it then.
Yep. So yeah, Birds of Prey also $20. And I think they slashed that.
They did, like after
the first week or whatever. But yeah, so the pricing was an issue for a lot of people. So Disney backpedaled, and they're like, oh yeah, you get to keep it.
We just forgot to tell you.
We forgot. But wait, there's more. You get to keep it. Now, what's going to be interesting is if this is going to be kind of what Disney's going to do going forward. Like, yeah, they're only charging you $6.95 a month for Disney Plus, but all the big releases are going to be upcharges.
Yeah, well, which is funny because they asked him, and we mentioned in the other video, they asked him specifically, they said about, is this going to be the new business model? And Chapek, it was funny how he answered. He's like, no, it's not. It's supposed to be a one-off. It's not intended, but we're kind of testing it out here to see. Well, which is it? If it's a one-off, what are you testing out to see? And that's basically what he said. And we're like, wait a minute. You just said it was a one-off, and then you followed with basically was, but if it makes money,
Yeah, so they had to clarify this. There was a site called Insider that said, hey, you'll have to pay an additional $29.99 to watch Mulan. A representative for Disney Plus confirmed to Insider that $29.99 is not a one-time rental charge. You get to, quote-unquote, keep it. Mm-hmm. The problem with these digital services is you quote-unquote buy a movie. It's only on the platform as long as they allow it to be, or if they shut it down.
Because somebody in their comments said about about Movies Anywhere, which is owned by Disney, and they thought, you get to keep it longer. But it said, in quotes, that it will have continuous access to the film as long as they are a subscriber of the service, which sounds to me like it's only on Disney Plus. It's not like Movies Anywhere or a Vudu type thing. It sounds like it's only on Disney Plus as long as you are a member of the service. Where like Vudu and that, you get to keep it.
Yeah, Vudu, like they shut down Ultraviolet, and you were able to port your Ultraviolet library over to Vudu. Now, Movies Anywhere is kind of hit or miss. That's a Disney thing too. I honestly think long term, I think Disney Plus is going to replace that, because right now Movies Anywhere is kind of like a locker for Disney movies and other people's movies. But Disney, like even with this Star streaming thing they're doing, they're trying to push other people's stuff out.
Yeah, they made a big point of saying when they did the Star service, which is going to be like their version of Hulu, that they are going to just be using their own stuff.
Yep.
And I'm like, yes, because everybody just wants that. That's what Disney Plus, I mean, they have Hotstar, so I'm assuming it's like that. It's like they're using their service on these platforms as their Disney Plus, but it's still, I don't know. I just think it's a little bit.
Anyway, yeah, theater owners not happy about it.
Yeah. So here's something else. They said that it's going to be released on Disney Plus in, I think they said United States, Canada, Australia, and the UK.
Yeah.
And they said it was going to be released to theaters and other markets. So I'm thinking, and I said this, that it's because of the global box office and that being an issue because they're worried about the global box office tanking. So they were trying to release movies within a few days, up to a couple weeks within the United States too, in some way, so that they wouldn't have people wouldn't be on the high seas, but they're going to be in the high seas anyway.
Yeah.
So that's why they did it. But apparently that's not the case because the UK is pissed and France is pissed and a bunch of other countries are really pissed right now. Their box office markets are pissed.
Well, yeah, on Tuesday, this is coming.
Mad.
They are. This is CNBC. They said on Tuesday, international theater owners were caught off guard when Disney decided to launch Mulan as a premium add-on to Disney Plus. The move made it so that any country where Disney Plus is present would not get a theatrical release of the film.
No, that's not exactly what they said, actually.
Not exactly
they said it was going to be in, they only named 4 markets that it was going to be on Disney Plus in. It wasn't every place.
Yeah.
To start, anyway.
And I get they're desperate. They have to get their money back. But, how long until Black Widow they go this route?
Well, they haven't yet. And I guess there's all these articles about why they haven't done it with Black Widow. I think because they think that they're going to make money on that one. But there's been a lot of backlash about Mulan. So I think that's why they put it on streaming.
I think you can kind of see how Disney can project how these movies are going to do. Artemis Fowl, I think they knew was going to be a box office bomb, so they dumped it onto Disney Plus, and everybody's already forgotten about it.
The one and only Ivan looks like it's going to be a real winner too.
Yeah, it looks like a piece of crap too. And what was Onward was already a bomb. People were like, "Oh, they put it on Disney Plus because of the shutdown." I'm like, it bombed. It was out for 2 weeks before the shutdown. It already bombed.
So they knew they weren't gonna recoup any other way. So
yeah, now there's talk about Soul going to. They might do this with Soul where they do a premium charge because that one I think was a little more anticipated. It's a Pixar movie.
I think he was being more honest than he intended when he said it was a one-off, but we're gonna see how it goes. So I think the answer is it could be any of these: Black Widow, Soul, Black Widow, Soul. Sorry, they had Up Ears out today, and my mind had the wires crossed, which are very cool, by the way. You go to piratesandprincesses.net to see that. But I think what they're going to do is they're going to see how it goes with Mulan, and they're going to see how the market is if it's still shut down because of upticks and issues.
Yeah.
And then they'll do it based on that. So I don't think it's off the table for Black Widow. I don't think it's off the table for Soul. I think he slipped when he said, "Oh, it's a one-off, but we're kind of looking to see how it goes," which means you're using it as a test market. That's what you just said.
Yeah, I think they planned this all along because that functionality would have to be built into Disney Plus. The ability to add premium.
Well, they did it this whole time when it's down. They've added it because
right. I mean, there might be a massive update before Mulan comes out, but we joked before. We said, what if they do like a season pass for The Mandalorian?
Yeah,
you can either wait to watch it an episode a week, or if you want to binge it, you got to pay us like $50 or something.
I think they're going to do that. I think with these. It might not even be a season pass. It might just be like if you want to watch, the Marvel shows, the Star Wars shows, these premium shows. They'll have a premium. They'll have a premium, service, or for $20 a month, and you can watch these things several months before everybody else gets to watch it for $6. I would not be surprised if they would do this because they're desperately looking for money. We see them, okay, like they had said that with the parks, the attendance being down for what they thought, the per capita spending was up. And one of the reasons was, I mentioned before, they gave annual pass holders 30% off if you go to the parks and shop for their annual pass discount. Well, now they've extended it to Shop Disney until the 14th too, to try to bump up their money. So they're looking for any way to bump up their money. I have no doubt they'll do stuff like this. I mean, it was interesting though, because Chapek was a little more... open about things than Iger is.
Chapek is, he's not Iger. Iger is a chess player. Iger, he keeps a lot of stuff close to the vest. Chapek is just like, a numbers guy. And I think he's going to have to learn, when you're the head of Disney, you can't just spill everything. But
he didn't, but he did kind of with this. Oh, it's not the business plan, but it might be. I mean, there's Mickey.
Yeah, I think what's gonna happen with Disney Plus, I think they're gonna jack the price up. But everything they promised, everything is gonna be available out of the vault, whatever, for that price. No, I think what it's gonna be is we'll rotate what's available at the lower tier, but if you wanna watch The Little Mermaid all the time, you're going to have to pay an extra 20, 30 bucks.
I agree. I think that's what they're going to do. Well, and plus a lot of people had they got a year for free with, Verizon or whatever. Was it Verizon?
Yeah, it was Verizon, yeah.
Those people are still going to be locked in until November. So if they do any changes, it's probably going to be, The Mandalorian's coming out in October. So October, November, if they were going to up things, I think that's when they would do it. Now, The Mandalorian, they think there's going to be a commercial, the first trailer for season 2 will likely be August 21st or 22nd, because that's when the NBAs and the playoffs are coming.
Yeah.
And that was when Celebration was supposed to be. So they think that they might do a trailer coming up during that sometime. So that's kind of unrelated, but related. But can we watch the French guy lose his crap?
Yeah, I just want to point out, because they're talking about how every exhibitor felt like it was a sucker punch of the gut.
I'm sure they did.
But they were also like, hey, Mulan was a bright spot because a lot of theaters have been running old movies. Even our local drive-in has been running Jaws and Jurassic Park, and which is cool. I mean, it's cool, and they're good movies, but, there hasn't been any new stuff.
I'm still bummed about Wonder Woman. That's what I really wanted to see. And I wanted to see Ghostbusters. We'll have to wait to see that, too.
So this is coming from a French
French
theater?
movie theater owner.
This is what he thinks. This is what he thinks of Mulan. Fuck you, Disney.
That's what
Les fouc. I don't know
what it is.
What is the French word for?
I don't know. I know the French word for shit, but I don't know.
Let's watch that again. Yeah, he's going all Hun.
Yeah, he's
Mulan.
like, I'll show you.
He's gonna.
You're not a girl worth fighting for.
Stomp.
Misogyny.
One more time, just bam.
We need a girl worth kicking.
And now somebody's screaming because they're like, "Oh my god, I could have sold that on eBay." Yeah.
Didn't smash Tenet though.
Didn't smash Tenet. So yeah, people not happy. That was probably just for social media high fives, but still, it is a sentiment. A lot of theater owners are not happy. But look. What are you gonna do? If you're a studio and you've got millions of dollars sunk into these movies,
I know.
What are you gonna do?
And the thing is, at the end of the day, they don't really need theaters now. And it's as sad as it is, because a lot of people prefer to watch movies in theaters. I know Neon does.
Yeah, I do.
And stuff. There's a lot of people who they just don't need to go. So, they aren't necessary, and there's ways around them, sadly.
Yeah.
And if someone's going to lose the money and go out, it's not going to be the studios.
Well, I think the movie theaters, unfortunately, are going to go the way of other things I loved, comic shops and arcades. But they both kind of became unnecessary as it was easier to get product to consumer directly, and that's probably what's going to happen. I mean, there's still a nostalgia factor with comic shops and arcades, and they're still around, but they're not as popular as they used to be, because back in the day, if you wanted comics or you wanted to play, new video games, you had to go there.
I was thinking when our kids are older, tell me again, Papa Squid King, about the movie theaters.
I had to explain to Squid King when he was little about drive-ins. Like, we used to have Pennsylvania, we had tons of drive-in theaters.
Well, drive-ins have come back
because of this,
now. Because of the shutdowns and stuff. Drive-ins have had a huge resurgence, which they're even they're going to do them at Walmart's. So, yeah. But anyway, one other thing that was interesting. So after all this was announced, then Bill and Ted decided to bump their dates up.
Yeah. So Bill and Ted is also coming direct to, or VOD. I think it's just a rental. But they moved it up because of Mulan.
I think they were going to some theaters too, weren't they?
Yeah, some theaters. Whatever's open. So August 21st for theatrical release. Now, Bill and Ted wasn't exactly like a tentpole thing, and I'm still on the fence about it. I think it's going to suck, personally.
Well, the VOD got moved up to the 28th as opposed to September 1st.
Oh, here it said,
that's for...
August 21st is theatrical. Okay, yes. 28th.
Yeah, so they said that's for the VOD release. I'm not sure what's going on with theaters. They were saying it was going to go into some theaters. Now the film moved up to the previous Friday. So, I don't know. They're moving it. They're changing it, though, because of Mulan. So they want to make sure that they're in there first. And they get the views before Mulan does. I really don't think they have anything to worry about, because I don't think people are beating down the door for Mulan. From what I've seen, a lot of people aren't like giving a crap about it.
Yeah, that movie. Look, I'm gonna be honest. It doesn't seem like it's gonna make anybody happy, because
I'm gonna watch it because I've been wanting to watch it. Squid King's like, I just want to see a PG-13 princess movie.
Yeah,
he's just like, let's see that.
I mean, I guess I'm morbidly curious, because I'm torn, because part of me is like, it's not gonna be an exact beat for beat remake of the cartoon.
Thank God, because otherwise, why?
Like Beauty and the Beast was pretty much the
It
exact
had
same movie.
some, but it was, yeah.
Yeah, it was like and Lion King was just like a knockoff of the original.
Yeah.
So, you know, I guess I'm kind of like, okay, it's not gonna be beat for beat, but I'm also like, they're cutting characters out of it. We don't.
They
have,
added characters that kind of nowhere.
They got the witch, and they've got So I don't know. I mean, it was designed obviously with China in mind, and I don't know how that's gonna go now. So I think they're just like, let's just get it out there, make some money, be done with it. Bill and Ted 3, I don't know what to think about it. I saw the trailer and
I
I'm
still
like,
think the daughters are gonna write the song
Yeah, I
or
think
something,
that's just gonna
or
happen.
get the band together for them to do the song or something like that.
so I don't know. I'm just not like, I'm not super pumped for Bill and Ted 3. I think it's like 20 years too late.
As much as I love Keanu Reeves, I'm just
Yeah,
not.
I love Keanu Reeves, and it's good to see them back together, and I guess they're friends in real life, but I'm just like...
Well, every time I see Alex Winter, I think of, well, I think was it on MTV or something? They had the
Yeah, he was
skit-
on MTV,
The
yeah.
skit, the caffeine pill and a beef stick. I give the caffeine pill and a beef stick. That's every time I see him. And most people probably like don't know what the hell I'm talking about, but if you look up Alex Winter and caffeine pill and a beef stick, you might find it.
I think Lost Boys, he was in Lost Boys, too. Oh, Idiot Box. Idiot Box. Yeah, I vaguely remember Idiot
Caffeine
Box.
pill and a beef stick. That's what I think of when I think of Alex Winter.
Yeah, he was big on MTV for a while.
I was gonna say, I remember it was on TV.
Yeah. So
We're so old.
I know we are so old. I remember MTV when they actually played music.
Yep, I do too.
Music videos. Have to explain that to the kids too. Like, well, once upon a time, we had MTV and then we had VH1, which was for old people. But we had MTV and it was kind of like the radio, but with pictures, moving pictures.
That's right.
And that's
Anyway.
when you would watch your MTV and then you'd go buy your cassette tapes and later CDs of
Or records.
or records. They
Because
still have
records were
those.
still around then too.
They still have
Records
those.
are back, man.
Records are back. They have
They have records at Walmart.
Yeah.
I gotta get your record player because Neon likes records and he has some and he's supposedly getting more, but he needs a player. He doesn't have a player anymore for that. But
I do not. So my mom, when I was growing up, my mom worked at a record store, like an actual LP vinyl store. You're right. And you know, we used to have they had little listening booths in the back and everything. But she has like thousands of LPs from the 70s and 80s. And that's the one thing she said, well, what do you want when I'm gone? I'm like, well, one, don't die. But two, I want your records.
Yeah.
So supposedly I'm going to be getting thousands of vinyl records.
just hope she didn't storm in the barn.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, no, and speaking of records being back, I'm sure the hipsters are very upset about that because before records made a big return and you could find them at Walmart. If you knew the channel, you haven't heard this story, but I was at Goodwill one day and some guy come in dressed like he bought his clothes there to deliberately look like he was like from the 70s or 80s. And I was talking to Neon on the phone and I said about the guy coming in and he's like, what's he gonna do? Go for the records? And I turn around and the guy is on the floor with all the records spread around him. So you couldn't even get around him. You had to walk the whole other way around the store, sitting on the floor, going through all the records one by one, making a big show of him on the floor. And I was like, oh my God, he's on the floor with the records. I took a picture and sent it to him. But yeah, but now you can get them at Walmart, so they're not so cool now, are they?
I was totally right. And ironically enough, they canceled the High Fidelity remake.
I saw that. I saw that.
Which I didn't even realize it was a thing. I loved High Fidelity because it's so weird. Because
Can they just make new things now?
yeah, can we just make
Seriously?
new things? Like, why do we have to remake it? But
Stop remaking things. Make new things.
they canceled it. But yeah, my one friend, he said personality wise, remind me of John Cusack from High Fidelity. I'm like, I don't know if that's a good thing. He's kind of erotic, but
I'm not commenting.
anyway, I think it was all the records and the alphabetizing because I used to do that with my CDs. Anyway.
You're not neurotic at all.
Anyway, gonna wrap this one up.
Yeah, but anyway, people are mad. It sounds like you get to keep the movie. It came out. They announced that the day later, which is really weird that they didn't clarify that to begin with. But I think it sounds like only when you're on Disney Plus. France is mad.
Let's watch this again. It's the French
I
taunting.
think he might. Oh, it could have been lost in translation. He thought instead of a girl worth fighting for, it's a girl you have to fight.
A girl you have to fight.
So he just kicked her ass.
That's
Her derriere.
kind of awesome. Okay, we're gonna wrap it up.
Yep.
Okay, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later.
Bye.
Hey guys, thanks for watching Clownfish TV. Please consider supporting the channel. Go to clownfishsupport.com. That's clownfishsupport.com. And if you want to join our community, go to clownfishtalk.com. That's clownfishtalk.com.
Please subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. We will talk to you next time.